is an American poet, known particularly for her spoken word poetry. She was born and raised in New York City to a Japanese-American mother and a Jewish-American father. Kay is an alumni of the Brown University undergraduate and graduate programs. She was a part of the master's program at Brown in the Art of Teaching Secondary English. Kay began performing poetry at the age of 14. She joined a poetry team in the East Village Bowery Poetry Club. Kay continued with slam poetry and today is considered a spoken word poet. The slam poetry movement is one of Kay's biggest inspirations. She conforms to the Slam Poetry Society and is known to accurately portray deep emotion and movement through her spoken word poetry. Kay's poetry often targets a specific group of people or describes a specific situation. Many of her poems have a feminist outlook and therefore attract young female readers.
If I should have a daughter, instead of mom, she's gonna call me Point B. Because that way she knows that no matter what happens, at least she can always find her way to me. And I'm gonna paint the solar systems on the backs of her hands. So she has to learn the entire universe before she can say, oh, I know that like the back of my hand. And she's gonna learn that this life will hit you hard, in the face, wait for you to get back up just so it can kick you in the stomach. But getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they like the taste of air. There is hurt here that cannot be fixed by Band-Aids or poetry. So the first time she realizes that Wonder Woman isn't coming, I'll make sure she knows she doesn't have to wear the cape all by herself. Because no matter how wide you stretch your fingers, your hands will always be too small to catch all the pain you want to heal. Believe me, I've tried. And baby, I'll tell her, don't keep your nose up in the air like that. I know that trick. I've done it a million times. You're just smelling for smoke, so you can follow the trail back to a burning house so you can find the boy who lost everything in the fire to see if you can save him. Or else, find the boy who lit the fire in the first place to see if you can change him. But I know she will anyway, so instead, I'll always keep an extra supply of chocolate and rain boots nearby because there is no heartbreak that chocolate can't fix. Okay, there's a few heartbreaks that chocolate can't fix, but that's what the rain boots are for, because rain will wash away everything if you let it. I want her to look at the world through the underside of a glass-bottom boat, to look through a microscope at the galaxies that exist on the pinpoint of a human mind, because that's the way my mom taught me, that there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this, my mama said, when you open your hands to catch and wind up with only blisters and bruises. When you step out of the phone booth and try to fly, and the very people you want to save are the ones standing on your cape. When your boots will fill with rain and you'll be up to your knees in disappointment, and those are the very days you have all the more reason to say thank you. Because there's nothing more beautiful than the way the ocean refuses to stop kissing the shoreline, no matter how many times it's sent away. You will put the wind in winsome, lose some. You will put the star in starting over, and no matter how many landmines erupt in a minute, be sure your mind lands on the beauty of this funny place called life. And yes, on a scale from 1 to over-trusting, I am pretty damn naive, but I want her to know that this world is made out of sugar. It can crumble so easily, but don't be afraid to stick your tongue out and taste it. Baby, I'll tell her, remember your mama is a worrier and your papa is a warrior, and you are the girl with small hands and big eyes who never stops asking for more. Remember that good things come in threes, and so do bad things, and always apologize when you've done something wrong, but don't you ever apologize for the way your eyes refuse to stop shining. Your voice is small, but don't ever stop singing. And when they finally hand you heartache, when they slip war and hatred under your door and offer you handouts on street corners of cynicism and defeat, you tell them that they really ought to meet your mother. Thank you. Thank you.
Kay uses spoken word poetry to inspire and educate young minds. Sarah Kay is the co-founder of Project Voice, alongside a friend, Phil Kay. Despite the same last name and the similarities that they share, Phil and Sarah work closely together but are not related.
It started with a sweater.
I was looking fly. First day of college orientation as a freshman, and I'm the type of guy who's always trying to make a good impression.
He looked like a tool. And it's the first week of school, so I've got people to meet and things to try. I don't have time to waste on this guy loitering backstage at a talent show.
It started with a freshman talent show, a chance to showcase what I know about spoken word and poetry, try to get some people to notice me.
It started with a technical difficulty.
Some sort of delay.
Somebody's iPod track wouldn't play.
So I'm stuck waiting backstage when I notice this girl.
And he walks over, stupid sweater and all. There was nowhere to run. Backstage was too small.
I'm so nervous about going on stage that I decide to strike up a conversation.
Oh, sorry, I completely got ahead of myself. I totally skipped introductions. My name is Sarah Kay.
My name is Phil Kay. I'm from California.
Born and raised in NYC.
Let's see, fun fact about me.
My mom is Japanese and my dad is Jewish. Not a common combination, but I think it's kind of cute. People call me Japaju.
Japanese.
Ashkenazi kamikaze.
And come December,
Hanukkah and Christmas. Plus, you should taste my mother's brisket. Jan Kawamura's matzo ball soup with noodles brings my father Jeffrey to his knees.
It took Mom Reiko and Dad Michael to raise this lanky, cockeyed half-breed.
Well, I think that's it. My mom, my dad, and me. Oh, plus my little brother, he's 19.
My little sister is a deadpan firecracker. She's only 19, but she keeps me on track. Part of her name is Sarah.
My brother's name is Philip.
Anyway,
where was I?
It started with a backstage interaction.
No, it started with a backwards first impression.
Okay, well, I'll tell you where it didn't start. It didn't start at 5th grade summer camp.
That's true. It did not start at junior lifeguards, even though
We were
both there.
which are matching uniforms, red bathing suits, white t-shirts, visors, and our counselor,
Mr. Johnson, who probably figured that the shy girl in his morning class
and the skinny kid in his afternoon class were cousins.
Probably thought we carpooled over together.
In between family photo shoots and 4th of July barbecues.
But instead, we merely coexisted.
Almost met, but always missed it.
Spinning round like two sides of a coin. Look, we've done the research, and we swear we're not related.
And we've never dated.
And we're never, ever
going to. Because what are the chances of finding someone with your last name?
Japanese and Jewish with siblings called the same.
What are the odds of finding someone
Who can finish your sentences?
who will let you cut in
Who
line?
knows not to just lend a hand or an ear when you need them to give you their spine?
Who is woman enough to be best man at your wedding?
Who will keep every secret, save every letter, tell you how you really look
Who will remember every single one of your birthdays?
without checking Facebook?
What are the odds of finding someone who knows your poetry by heart?
Who won't freak out if you're hanging out and accidentally fart?
Yeah, and if you have a date and you need to look fresh, I will let you borrow my hair products.
And if you don't have a date and you need to look fresh, I will let you borrow my cousin.
I will always see you for the alley-oop.
I will always save you a seat.
I will always pick you to be my partner, even though you are terrible at handball.
When the fire takes all you have, my home will be your home.
When you are old and can no longer remember my face, I will meet you for the first time again and again.
When they make fun of your accent, I will take you swimming, because we all sound the same underwater.
When Ellis Island tries to erase your past, I will call you by your real name.
When they call your number for the draft, I will enlist to fight beside you.
And I will march with you from Selma to Montgomery and back as many times as it takes.
We will stand together against the hoses and the dogs, because it didn't start with us.
It started with Lennon and McCartney.
It started with Thelma and Louise.
Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin.
Bert and Ernie.
Abbott and Costello.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Mario and Luigi.
Watson and Sherlock.
Pikachu and Charizard. And they could tell you what a miracle this is.
They could tell you how rare this is.
But they could tell you how rare friendship always is.
The chances are slim.
The cards are always stacked against you. The odds are always low.
But I have seen the best of you and the worst of you, and I choose both.
I want to share every single one of your sunshines and save some for later.
I will tuck them into my pockets so I can give them back to you when the rains fall hard.
Friend, I want to be the mirror that reminds you to love yourself.
I want to be the air in your lungs that reminds you to breathe easy.
When the walls come down.
When the thunder rumbles.
When nobody else is home. Hold my hand, and I promise I won't let go.
Alongside Project Voice, Kay is a keynote speaker for various educational organizations. As well as this, she has published 3 books to date and will likely be publishing more.